Well, a little bit later than billed, but welcome to the final episode of the season of All Four Back, episode 22. Now, I'm sure a lot of you people had the final countdown in the back of your head. I know I had before this show. Of course, I am Chester 430, and I'm joined, as always, this season by Hadlington 83. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, all.
And good evening to Shads. Good evening, sir.
Hello, everyone.
God, I can't believe it's been so long now that we've come to the final episode of the season. I mean, to think we're only going to last like 2 weeks, and we've done 22 episodes. It's madness. It's been great this year. It must be been fantastic. We're trying something a bit different tonight. We're going to try and run an hour, hopefully, if all goes to plan. At the moment, it is going according to plan at the moment. To start, we're going to have a "Who am I?" type question for the STS themed question this episode. Shads has very kindly put together some questions or some clues as to who this person is. So before we get into the first GP review,
It's not me.
no. Shad, would you give out the first clue, please, of the "Who am I?"
I think Tank's got the Tank, have you got the screen? Yeah, here we go.
Yes. So, clue number 1 made my debut in season 3. So that is the first clue. Kind of narrows it down a little bit, but that is the first clue. Made my debut in season 3. So, whilst your guys are thinking that, after that first clue, we're going to go straight on to the final of the GP and SCS rounds, which took place at the magnificent Bellevue National Speedway Stadium. And no Hads, it is not me. It is not me, unfortunately, even though I wish it was, but I started season 4. Actually, no, I did start season 3, no, but it's not me, don't worry. Anyways, as you know, guys...
Nobody noticed.
Nah, no one did, actually, tell you the truth. So, the final round of the BGP here, and what a night it was. It was so close right to the end. We almost had a runoff for the final qualification slot. And taking the win in that meeting after a sensational final was Powers 84, finishing on 17 points. 2 points clear of Stefan and I think it was Stefan and Craig in the grand final. But it had, I say, you were in this meeting, mate, and on a track that good, my word, what a match it was.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the racing, to be fair. Probably the most enjoyable round of the series, to be honest. A lot of different lines, a lot of different bogs being used as well, different lines and whatsoever. But the only thing that spoiled it a little bit for me, as you can see at the bottom there, is the no riders 1, 2, 3. Again, people pulling out late on, and Squall actually had to go around for 4 laps on his own in the first race, which is a bit poor in a GP. But apart from that, I think it was one of the better GPs as well. Nice to see a few different names in there as well. Hutty, and obviously Dip again, Big Slow Kane. So they're taking their chances in getting some more experience. But yeah, I think it was a good round, especially for me personally, because it was only the second semi-final I got to. So yeah, pretty pleased as well after that first duck on the board in the first one. But with all the fast times, I mean, I think probably one of my fastest times of the night, and I come last. I think it was a 38.2 or something. Crazy.
Yeah, well, we had a message from Unknown, who was going to be in that meeting on Sunday. Sorry I missed this one. Unfortunately, I didn't make it back from the Red Car press day in time, so IRL Speedway took Unknown out of the picture. But of course, the podiums were pretty much settled in terms of the previous round where Stefan clinched the championship in the previous round. But he didn't have it all his own way at Bellevue. Of course, he only had a couple of heat wins and only just qualified for the final, where he finished in second place behind Powis. And good to see DL Shaw back in the fold. Definitely a big step forward for DL Shaw. Of course, the silver helmet holder goes into that season, into season 19 as defending champion. Where he'll be, no one knows. But yeah, we're going to take a look at the final table, and you see there Stefan was so consistent throughout the entire season. Only scored less than 15 in round 2. He only scored 13 points there. And what gets me is the fact that Craig, he was already qualified for this year. I think he was in because he was the highest placed, like, non-GP average rider, was it, or something along those lines, if I'm right in saying?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So of course, already Craig would be automatically in the grand final, and you can see how close it was between that bottom 3, Fakey, JC, and Squall. You know, and it went into that match. Of course, we had Skyrider covering us, doing some commentating or some match reports from that one. And of course, that was a great inclusion, which was, and to have Sky doing it, mate, that was superb from Sky. Definitely something to look forward to in the future, hopefully, if that's the case.
Yeah.
But of course, Hads obviously just missed out on the top 10. Only by 6 points. Even that 10-point haul kind of didn't help your cause, so to speak. But apart from that, apart from that, did you enjoy the season?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Obviously, I'm not going to try and put too much pressure on myself in these meetings. It was good to qualify, to be fair, to get in these. I mean, but every single race it's tough. I mean, so to get 10 points in any round really for myself is pretty good going. But yeah, I'll be back. I'll be trying to get back in next season, try and be a bit of a spoiler again. But as you mentioned that one before, Dan, about DL and Squall, how close it was. If DL had won the final, DL had took the last spot in the in 8th place from JC. Crazy enough, but I'm not sure. Obviously, it's been confirmed yet, but the highest average non-league rider at the moment is Limo. But I know Limo doesn't ride in the GPs, so the next one would actually be DL. So that would be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, that would be definitely one to look out for on the rider front, definitely. And Shads, of course, you were in this meeting as well. Top 15's position for you, mate.
No, I wasn't in.
I say you weren't in the meeting, but you were in the overall season.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so he finished in the top 15 on 40 points, consistent throughout, even though the scores didn't reflect.
Consistently bad.
Well, it's
I
guess
that 11 points was probably with a few no riders, I think, from memory.
Yeah.
No, I did struggle. I did struggle in it this year. I won't lie. It was the overall. I mean, it's against a lot of very good riders. I mean, I practiced loads. I can't say I didn't practice. Practice probably as much as anyone. But no, just a step or two too far for me, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it was great to have you in as well, Shads, and of course you had as well. It was nice to get the feedback from each Grand Prix whilst back on the podcast, getting your thoughts on the meeting. And whilst you weren't in the BGP, Shads, you and I commentated on the SCS round, the last round at Bellevue as took place.
We did indeed.
First of all, we have the second clue. My apologies, but I skipped over. Second clue with the Who Am I? So the first clue was I made my debut in season 3. Here's clue number 2. I have ridden for 3 different teams in 6 seasons. So I've ridden for 3 different teams in my 6 seasons of racing. Has anyone got it yet? At the moment, there's not many.
Him.
Well, it's not you, Squall, unfortunately, mate.
It's definitely not now.
Yeah. So no one has yet still managed to try and guess the Squall's given us the guess of Jan. No, it isn't. Jan. It is not Jan. Racer Ryan says Limo, and so does Ads. No, it is not Limo. McNally
for everyone.
McNally says Steph. No, it's not. Badger says unknown. No, it's not. Hobnob said Van Helsing. No, it's not. So, I mean, you're in the sort of right era of the game, but you haven't got the right question. You haven't got the right answer yet, chaps. So, we will get to clue 3 after the SCS review, which we're going to get into now. Of course, me and Shads actually commented on that one on Sunday, and this one was absolutely superb. And it was a massive congratulations to Ads MFT of the High Road Storm taking the championship, dropping just 1 point all night, and the gates he was making in that meeting was absolutely sensational. He had, he was superb. Only Scotty B had any sort of realistic chance of beating him, but after that third ride where Scotty B got that third, I think it was game over from then on. But Ads, tremendous meeting from him, and he qualifies for the BGP next season.
Yeah, deserved winner. It's good to see it go to the last meeting of the season, unlike in the GPs, which was pretty much over after about 6 rounds. Top 3 into the GP series. Again, in my opinion, deserved the top 3, the best 3 deserved to go through, and they did. Like you said, tremendous racing. I mean, as soon as I saw a couple of practice sessions, I thought, oh, this is going to be a cracker. The lines were just all over the place. I mean, you're cutting back on bend 2, some are going outside, some are going inside. It was great. I think the unluckiest rider would be David No Fear, who only actually rode in 4 rounds out of the 8, and only failed to qualify by 5 points.
Yeah.
So I mean, one more round from him, and he would have been in next year's SCS. But I don't doubt if he goes through the qualification that he'll be one of those to qualify, because his scoring's been pretty consistent in the meetings he did ride in. And he scored 15 in round 7, double figures in round 3. So no, he'd be the unlucky rider for me. But like top 3. Definitely deserved to go through, and Ads and Scotty made it a great competition right until the end.
Absolutely. I mean, and it all started off with that 21-point maximum from Wolf in the very first round, and he still managed to finish in the top, just outside the top 15 there on 21 points. So it just goes to show, even though there wasn't as many big riders in this meeting and in this championship, the racing was still really, really good. A few more guesses in the chat for the Who Am I? Squall says Toretto. He is wrong. Badger says Amber Mouse. He is also wrong. Mimi from Hobnob says no. Hobnob guesses Mimi. He says no, it's not him. McNally says Skyrider. Don't think he was even born in season 3. Badger says Fozzie. No, still haven't got it right, guys. Is it Valentino Fernandez? No, it's not Hads. It is not. Hobnob saying Captain Pie. No. Badger saying Wayne. No, it's not. We're getting a few guesses in tonight here, chaps, but everyone's still giving the wrong
Give them the third clue, Dan. They'll probably get it after this one.
Yes. Tank, if you'll be so kind, sir. I won the league title in season 5 and the Knockout Cup in season 6. So those are the 3 clues so far. Fakey says Jan. No, it's not Jan. Badger says Craig. Nope, it's not him either. And says no cheating, Badger. McNally says Le Sorcier. No, not Le Sorcier. Well, I think with these 3 clues, it's going to send us into our first break. Google can't help you now, Badger. Who are you going to call? Hobnob says himself. Fakey says Sudden Rotten. Both wrong.
I think I've got them this week, Dan.
Well, you guys are thinking about it. So when we come back after our break, we're going to have the Warriors season review with our guests of Tank and Alan McNally. And we'll also have the 4th clue. So let's see if we can get it right. So, chaps, we will see you in a couple of minutes. And after that quick break, we are back. Let's see if Tank can get the right screen up. There we go. So that was clue 3 with the I won the league title in season 5 and the Knockout Cup in season 6. We've had a lot of guests during that break. McNally says Powis. Nope. Badger says David No Fear. Nope. McNally says Stephen 101. Nope. Yeah, all wrong at the moment.
Alan Graham.
Nope. Not a chance. So I guess it's clue 4. No, it's not Tank. Hobnob says Fozzie. So clue 4 is going to be I changed my forum name after season 6.
This one will give it away.
You think so? Because quite a few have done it. Quite a few have done it. Badger said Speedy. Nope. Nope. It is not that.
I'm not dreaming, Alan.
Well, I think clue 5 and 6 is going. I think they'll get it after clue 6. I think
there isn't a clue 6.
Is there not? It's only 5, is it?
No, it's only 5.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, it's only 5.
They'll probably get it.
They won't need 6 clues.
Well, Squall had the right idea there. PC Norwood and Gothic Slider. Absolutely not.
That's a good guess.
That's an old school name. That's from my old Cycle Speedway days at Pool.
That's good. No, that's a good guess, actually.
Good guess, Squall. No.
Not him.
So we have one final clue to give, and that'll be given after our sort of main event type event. And this is the season review of the season 18 champions, the Somerset Warriors. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Shads. So Shads, take it away, sir. Warriors, what a season.
Yeah, the Warriors. At the start of the season, it was generally thought that this side had the makings of league champions, or at least challenging for the title. There were a few questions about the team, though. I thought personally, Wolf was a bit of an unknown quantity, a bit of a gamble. I mean, his only season prior to this had been with I think Norwich Dragons in season 16, where he posted a decent enough average, 7.5. But he managed to better that this season, finishing an 8-point average. So that wasn't so much of a gamble. That one paid off. Secondly, Badger. I mean, no one would have predicted his start to the season. I mean, he came in what, 4.3, something like that, and he took the league by storm. No pun intended. His scores got
took the league from storm, should I say rather?
Yeah. All right, okay. His scores dropped a little after he moved up from reserve, but still finished on a 7.3 average, so that's pretty remarkable. Alan, one of our guests tonight, Alan McNally. I mean, he would have had to been accommodated somehow, and he was used pretty sparingly, but he managed his first and so far only heat win in the KO Cup semi-final second leg at home to Berwick Pineman. So well done to him. Ryan had a great season, established himself as a genuine number one, scoring well in the GPs. Pretty unbeatable on his day. Scotty too had a good campaign. Remarkable, really, when you think about Warriors having a 7-point rider at reserve. Although he only had 3 meetings at reserve and he had a few at number 2. So that's always going to be handy. Let's talk about Tank. Tank always goes under the radar. He definitely did this season with the rest of the side firing. But he still managed to stick half a point on his starting average. I mean, the only rider who didn't match his average was Zagar. But still, finishing an 8.2 average puts him in the top 10 of the league averages. And Warriors actually had 5 riders in the top 20, which is pretty remarkable. And I suppose I look back on the home meeting with in the league against Storm as probably the highlight of their season. I mean, their home form was great, wasn't it? 6 wins from the 6 meetings raced. I mean, the only defeat at home was at the hands of us at Storm in the KO Cup.
Mm.
And the away form was indifferent with a narrow defeat at Hyde Road, but with a couple of heavy defeats at Redcar and Hackney. I mean, would you say he deserved? I'm sorry, they finished top of the league, so by 8 match points. So, I mean, it's great to have a season where 2 teams are actually going head to head for the whole of the season. So, yeah, great season for Storm, for Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations to them. And it's a shame they won't be racing next season to defend their title. Unless someone's going to be taking over the captaincy, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Anyone got the question yet? No.
That's news to seeing the Warriors not coming back to the tapes on for season 19. There, Shaz is very, very a surprise. But yeah, look at that. Unbeaten at home. Only 2 away matches lost. And there we go. Oh, we have a winner. Ads has got it. Ads has got it. Ads has got the question. It was Kenty. Andy Durran's Racing. Yes, ADR. Kenty.
Well done, Ads.
Yes. And the final clue would have been, I'm the uncle of Stephen 101 and Speedy.
No, that would have definitely given it away.
Yes, definitely. That would have got it. So not only has Ads won the the KO Cup with the Storm. He's won the SCS series. He's now won the Quiz of the Night. Badger said I got second with saying Speedy. Lol. But well done, lads. So we can go back to the Warriors spreadsheet, please, Tank. We're actually going to bring you in. So good evening, Tank, our producer, who I believe has his head. Yes, he has his headset now working. Congratulations, Tank. It's taking you 22 matches to get it all sorted out. Oh,
Low blow.
low blow. Mic drop. Yeah. So we've got you here, Steve, Tank, and we're also going to bring in our other guest tonight. And he was very much requested over the last few matches. Mr. Alan McNally, come in, sir. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening, mate. How you doing?
Good evening.
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. We could say we saved the best till last, as they say. But I'm going to start with you, Tank.
We don't
first
have a
of all.
show next week, Dan.
No, of course we don't know. Tank, for you, Warriors, what a season. Yeah, of course, that Berwick, when you won that match at Berwick Piemen to seal the league title for you was a well deserved. A lot of people were saying that the Piemen that night was sort of playing second fiddle to you guys, but you guys just brushed it off and took the win there. Of course, I believe you had the fours as well this year. You took the win there in the runoff, I believe, with Ryan against Powys. So you have also the league and the fours success. Just missed out on the pairs and the knockout cup, but 2 out of 4, not a bad going, is it?
Dan, I know it.
Mm. Chad,
Hank,
your questions?
talk us through the start of the season. And how do you feel after your start? I mean, you won your first eight league and cup meetings. What was the feeling going into it, like after 8 meetings? Did you think, oh well, we're here, we're going to do it, or were you still having doubts? I mean, did you feel any added pressure being one of the pre-season favourites? Yeah, I mean, I've said it before. I've said it before in previous podcasts. I mean, the teams that have their top riders riding all the time are usually the teams that do well. I mean, you had two of your top two riding every meeting, every league meeting, Zagar and mine. I mean, you only missed one. Scotty only missed two. So you're looking at a pattern here. I mean, it was the same, probably pretty much the same for us, that we had our top three rode in. I mean, I think Ad's missed one meeting and Craig and Pavitt's rode in all of them. So there's definitely a pattern. If you can get your best riders riding every meeting, especially with the pool being so thin on top end riders, and you can only have a league guest 2 grades below, it makes it very difficult if you're missing your number one. But credit to your team. I mean, you were pretty good availability wise. I mean, you said earlier about you took up captaincy quite late in the day. Is there a reason for that? I mean, was it just simply because there wasn't enough captains to go around and you thought, well, I've got to step in? That's interesting.
Very interesting.
Mm.
I say we've got to talk to our other guests as well tonight. Alan, of course. Al, you were part of the media team this season, covering as many matches as you can. On the media front, did you enjoy the matches you were doing? Of course, you came in from the mobile game into STS. It was still relatively new into the game. But how did you find the media side of things anyway?
It was definitely a challenge. Having to work with so many different people. Oh, sorry. When you go.
Go ahead, Shads.
No, I was going to say, challenge working with me. That's what you wanted to say.
Yeah, well, yeah, you were definitely one of the more tricky people to work with, Shads. Don't worry about it. But no, it was enjoyable working with so many different people. But it was definitely challenging getting the streams going this season. But I think we've definitely worked. We definitely made it work this season. I think everybody really enjoyed it. So yeah, it was good fun.
Shad, you got a question for Alan?
I was just going to say, Alan. I mean, you only rode in 7 league meetings. I mean, were you okay with that, or did you want to ride in more? Was availability an issue?
No, I mean I would have ridden in more, but I think Tank obviously had his plan in mind of who was riding where, so I just went with the flow. I didn't argue too much with them, I don't think. But yeah, I just went with the flow and just rode where I was needed. But yeah, if there was more opportunity, I'd have took it. But you know,
No,
it is what it is.
I watched a lot of your meetings. Obviously, I've got nothing else to do with my time, so I watched a lot of recordings. And I mean, you didn't score that many, but you were in races. You were in most of the races. I saw you in. You were right in it. Just one silly little mistake done for you, really. I mean, is there any chance you could you'd be looking to improve your racing next year? Because you definitely see something there. It's just that just one silly little mistake, and it was good night.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping to improve my racing next season. Spend less time in the snack van on the fence season, more time on the actual track. I think I spent more time at the snack van. They'll be missing me if I don't go there now. But yeah,
I've got
no,
to say,
definitely.
the snack bar at Somerset is pretty good. They did a lovely chicken curry there.
Oh, lovely chicken curry. I'm in first name terms out there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, top on that Somerset. Yeah. So
you're
I'm guessing
definitely looking to ride next season, Alan. Yeah.
Well, yeah, if the team opportunity comes up, then definitely. I didn't actually think I was going to get one this season. It was a very late offer from Tank because I was worried I wasn't getting anything towards the end. And then when Tank offered, I was hesitant. Going, is someone else coming in at that point? I went, I'm not even going to risk this. I'm just going to take it.
I've ridden for Tank before. I'd have been hesitant too.
Yeah, but apart from that, Alan, it's been you've had a great season. Being part of the league champions.
Yeah, definitely. The boys have been a great bunch of boys in Tank. Well, there's nothing I can't say that Tank's done badly. He's done everything to perfection, and he led the team to the league title. And I can't thank Tank enough for the opportunity he gave me this season, and it's been a great one.
That's great words there, McNally. Shad, any more?
No, I think Had's had something to say.
Yes, I had. So you've been very quiet there, sir. You any questions for our esteemed guest? Or guest?
I do have one, but I don't know that. I don't know the best way to put it.
Oh dear.
You've had a lot of time to think about it.
Oh, okay.
Let's just say the rumour mill, as we go, the STS rumour mill goes round, saying it wasn't all happy camping in the Warriors, and a few disagreements after certain meetings I've heard. Not sure if you can remember exactly what happened, but
is this in regards to the one you messaged me about earlier, the red car one by any chance?
It is, yes, indeed.
Oh,
yes.
Here we go. Get your popcorn, chaps.
I've got a funny feeling this is to do with what was said at the end of Heat 13, if I'm right, when I was racing my Badger. If I get that wrong, Tank, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this.
Ding ding, round one.
From the rumours that have been floating around, it was said that my words were that it was Badger's fault that we lost that meeting. When, a matter of fact, there was more than just him losing. It was the fact that he had lost the race was the issue that I had, because I was expecting him to win it, and that was what frustrated me. But not just that. There was more factors to us losing that match than just Badger, and I think people took it out of context. So they might have took that out of context that it was me blaming him for losing the match, but it was more than just him as the factor of losing the match. It was me. I wasn't scoring many points, and I think Wolf hadn't scored much. But I think most of us were struggling a little bit that night, but I think people took it out of context. But yeah, it wasn't all your fault, Badger. Just so you know, it wasn't all your fault. It was just me having a bad night. I get cranky when I don't win, and it doesn't go down well, as we can clearly see what happened.
Well, I remember my disagreement with Sis on Rally Championship, or on one of the dirt. No, it was WRC. No, it was dirt, wasn't it? Yeah, the dirt game in the Rallycross. We had a bit of a disagreement there, and unintentional, of course.
It won't beat Wolfie. It won't beat Wolfie and Siz's disagreement, will it?
Squall says Latvia on dirt because Sis beat you. No, you didn't take the jump. That's what it was. You didn't take all. You went past the jump. That's what it was. Yeah, and I got a bit salty with Sis, and yeah, I kind of got given my marching orders from Sis that night. But it was all good. I mean, Sis is a great lad. But any sort of last words to our guests, Shads?
No, I only had the one.
Yeah, you had the one.
I was leaving it to Hads to ask him the important question.
Yeah.
Now just well done to the Warriors. To be fair,
yeah,
over the
a great
Yeah,
a great
you said
season.
that already
Great
this
season.
season. Don't go on about it.
Yeah. Yeah, Shad says I'm waffling. Yes, we will move on. We will move on. Yes. Tank McNally, it's been great having you on board tonight, chaps, and of course for a fantastic season. Many thanks for tuning in, and hopefully a bit more of you guys next season.
Yep, thank you very much.
No worries, mate. All the best.
You too.
Cheers, Alan.
No worries.
Cheers, mate. So, of course, we had the Who Am I clue 5, but of course, Ads has already got that, and of course, the clue was he is the uncle of 101 and Speedy, which of course was Kenty, ADR. And now we're talking big business now, because we have, of course, as you know, the Team of the Year forum post was given its regular post. So with that being said, I'm going to hand over to Hadlington, because he has the 1 to 6 that you voted for as the 2024 season 18 Team of the Year. Ads, over to you, mate.
Yeah. Firstly, thanks to everyone who did actually vote on the forum. There was only 15 people who actually voted, which is quite low, given the numbers we had in the league this year. But now we had the votes, and basically the 6 riders with obviously the highest number of votes made the team. So we'll start off with the number 1, which is going to be no surprise to everybody. Is going to be Stefan himself. What can we say? I mean, what we haven't already said. I mean, world champion, BGP champion. I mean, if you look at that, 36 race wins, 57% win ratio. I did do a couple more little stat things when I was looking earlier. It's actually his 5th season in a row. He's averaged over 10 points, which is just ridiculous. I mean, the GP stats as well. He's actually set the record 136 points in the GP series. So, I mean, there's just nothing else we can really say. I mean, if you look at the GP wins, he's won 160 races in the GPs in 5 seasons. The next one is Paris on 81. So that tells you all you need to know.
That's just mental.
It's just that's why, I mean, any team with Stefan's always got a chance in it, haven't they? So
yeah,
craziness. But we'll move on to number 2, and it is our Mr. Warriors friend there in the chat, Badger Racing.
Congrats, Badger, getting in the team.
So 7.33 average, as Shad's alluded to earlier. He put over 3 points, just over 3 points on his average. He actually got the votes as well, so fair play to Badger. He actually got in 8 teams out of the 15 who voted. So, I mean, if you look at that, he only won 9 races if you look at the stats, but the other stat is that not
there's a lot of 5-1s there, a lot of second places in 5-1s, I think.
Yeah, as he just posted there in chat, he only actually had 6 last places out of 48 races in the league. I mean, for somebody who started on a 4.29, I mean that is just credit to him and the practice he's put in this season to get to the level where he's at now. I mean, 5th place as well in the FCS series, which is no mean feat in itself with a field in there. So, I mean, fair play to him. He can kick on again next season.
And he missed a round as well.
Yeah, and he missed. Yeah. So, fair play, Badger. Congratulations on the number 2 spot there. And we'll move on to number 3, which will be if Mr. Tankle, there we go, is Paris, Mr. Paris, 84, British League Rider champion, knockout cup winner, 3rd in the GPs. I mean, increased his average as well, being him number 1. I did actually personally vote for him myself because I think anybody who's number 1 in a team with Craig and Ads as the 2 heat leaders, I mean, they deserve to be in the team, really, don't they? I mean, I don't know what you raced alongside him, Shads. I mean, raced with him as well. What were your thoughts on Paris this season?
He was probably he top scored in most of our meetings this year. He was proper number 1, and also he did a lot behind the scenes organising. He was organising the meetings for the following week, like availability and that, and also showing us lines, which most of us took notice of, and some of us didn't, as you can tell by the averages. No, definitely deserves to be in the team. And terrific bloke as well, very very helpful. Just to get you getting you on the tracks and knowing what lines to ride and that. No, definitely, I've really enjoyed riding with him this year. I was looking forward to it. As soon as I heard he was going to be riding for Storm, I thought, no, I've got to be in this team this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as well, he won the BLRC at the end of the season, so he won the last round of the GP. Is that right? Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Last week. So, I mean, fair play. I mean, another one deserves. I mean, top spot, one of the best in the game at the moment. I think probably that since I've played, apart from Stefan, the most consistent rider, I'd say.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah, for me. So we'll move on to number 4. And it is a DL short from my team, the Red Card Dynamite. I mean, what can I say? What I haven't said about this guy already. I mean, if anybody gets a chance to race with him next season, obviously the Dynamite won't be coming to types. I mean, take the chance because he didn't race for 10 years, and after his 2nd season back, he's averaging 8.5 points. I mean, that's just crazy to me. I mean, just picks it up naturally. I mean, a lot of the GPs I did laps with him, and he didn't do that many because of his time at work and stuff in the middle of the week. And when he came on, he would just click straight away. And I mean, fair play to him. We obviously have to mention the silver helmet as well, which is another reason I voted for him. I mean, anyone to beat Stefan over the best of 3 deserves it. But he actually beat him 4 times on that one night. I mean, that is just, to me alone, probably deserves a spot in the team.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and he ended the season top of the averages as well. So yeah, a good teammate to have if you get a chance to ride with him, lads. As we move on to number 5, which is again not going to be a surprise to many people. Is Racer Ryan, obviously league champion, 9.44. I mean, I was looking at these stats earlier. I mean, 2 seasons ago, he averaged 671, and now he's averaging 944. He's only second to Stefan in the World Championship and the BGP. Nearly a 50% win ratio as well. I mean, obviously, I know Tank and Alan who was in earlier, they raised with him and stuff. And I haven't really heard anybody in the game. He's one of those. No one's got a bad word to say about him. He's always putting the laps in and getting the practice in. I mean, he won the run-off as well, as you mentioned earlier, down in to win the 4-team tournament for the Warriors. So, but every time I've come up against him this season, I mean, what a guy to have in your team and to lead a team as well. Absolutely deserves. And he actually got the most votes. 15 people voted and 14 people put him in the team. I think so. That tells you a lot of what you need to know.
Just goes quietly about. Just goes quietly about his business. There's no ego there at all, is there? You don't really hear much about him. Just gets on with it, you know.
Absolutely. And completing the team, also we've only done a 1 to 6 being as the 6. The last one is another Dynamite rider. This is not done by me, by the way. Everyone did vote.
You've not fixed this, have you?
He got he got the second most votes with 13 out of 15 in everyone who voted. I mean, the biggest improver this season, average was he finished the season before. I know he started on a 3-point average, but he actually finished just over 2-point average last season. So the way he's come on this season, I mean, whether it was the bikes, whether he changed his setup, the start of this season, it's just deserved. I mean, he was on form and he got a GP spot towards the end of the season. Did the last few rounds as well, but he's the first one. He's the first one in practice, I'd say, and probably the last one out of practice, kind of thing. So he deserves it for the amount of laps he's put in. Around very similar to Badger as well. Just good to see him back doing what he can do, and hopefully he can continue to kick on from there for next season. Be interesting to see what team takes a chance with his new average. But that is your team of the season. Thanks to everybody who did take the time to vote on the forum. Wasn't as many as we were suspecting, but maybe that's just the forum because people don't go to the forum. I know a lot of people don't, but cheers for voting, everyone. And I believe we are over to Tank shortly, maybe for the season announcement.
Yes, I believe we do. We do have Tank, who has some very important news in regards to season 19. So, Tank, we hand over to you, good sir. What can you tell us?
It's so exciting.
The first week of June, the league will kick off potentially. Wow.
Well, that's good news.
That's
no,
very
so
good, mate.
no break in the season then.
Well, of course, if once everything's all finalised in the world of STS, we will obviously have an all fall back special show. I believe we potentially could be covering the team building this for the upcoming season. So that'll be obviously taking place in early May, potentially once everything's all finalised and sorted out. But there is your season 19 announcement, chaps. What do we think?
It's interesting just thinking about how many teams we're going to have and what the format's going to be. Whether we're going to have squads of 7 or squads of 8 to make up for riders missing, because obviously you've got some holidays coming up. And I'll be away for a couple of weeks in July. So if I did ride next season, I'll be missing for a couple of weeks. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the team building, whether how many sign up on that. Looking forward to that.
Had, did you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I'm just looking forward to. I know obviously that everyone looks forward to the team building, but actually not having to do as much up to team building, if you like, this season.
Yes, because of course you're stepping away from captaincy, aren't you?
But now, looks forward to it. I always look forward to the BGP and SCS qualifiers because I usually do pretty well in those. So, yeah, I look forward to that, and hopefully, I've obviously done by Christmas. That is ideal, really, for a lot of people. I mean, I know some of the summer months will be tough for people with different circumstances and as such, but hopefully we can make the best of it as we can. It's what we wanted, so we'll see how it works, and only time will tell us if it comes off. To be fair.
Well, of course, any news that does pop up on Discord and Facebook and forum posts, I'm sure we'll be able to cover it all for you, chaps. But I think, chaps, for the final time this season, I think it's time to wrap up the show. We have gone for an hour and 5 minutes, so we've gone just over the hour, but we've actually gone in pretty much bang on an hour, which is certainly what we wanted to do this year for this show. So, Shads, any last words?
No, I'll just say I thoroughly enjoyed doing these shows, and thanks to everyone who listened in to us waffling on. Big thanks to Tank for doing all the producing for us, because it definitely made a difference to the podcast when he got more involved. And if anyone's got any sort of things they'd like us to chat about next season, because we're hopefully coming back next season, like Dan said, with a pre-season show, and then every week after that, just drop us a message either in chat or personal message to either of us, and we'll consider it, because we're looking for more content. Obviously, just don't want to hear about previews and reviews every week. So give us something else to chat about.
Hads, your final thoughts?
Yeah, I echo what Shad's saying there. Just obviously at the start of the show, we've said we were going to last 2 or 3 weeks doing this. Just a little idea that we came up with between ourselves, and it's 22nd one we've done tonight, which is crazy to think that many. But good to see people supporting it as well, and how people have reacted to it, and everyone get involved. I mean, if you do want to get involved, ever drop us a message and we'll get you involved. We try and do, obviously, people from each team, and we've had some people on more than once, so just keep listening, and thank you guys for listening, and keep listening to us waffle on, basically, and really enjoyed working alongside you two and Tank, and hopefully it can continue next season.
Yeah,
That's
it's
great.
been great working with you. Yeah,
We're having a lot of final. Tank's got the final countdown song in my head now when you said final show Hads, lol. But so I like to say, I want to repeat what you guys said. Thank you to every single one of you that's tuned in over the past 22 weeks. It's been absolutely superb, from the guests to the streams we've done. Everything has just clicked ever since that like sort of third or fourth show when Tank came into the fold of things. But yeah, this has been great, being the host and having Hads and Shaz together. I know that Had, you were gone for a couple of weeks. We had a couple of guest hosts coming in, but and of course they were brilliant as well. Basically, keeping the show going. So this is it. This is a final good night from us all. I think Tank's got something very special to play us out for. So I will say a good night to Shads.
Good night, everyone.
I'll say a good night to Hads.
Good night, all.
And it's a good night from me, Chester. Thank you so much for this season, guys. It's been great. Congrats to everybody that's won meetings, leagues, titles, pairs, fours, knockout cut, BGP, SCS, you name it. The ones that have won it. Congratulations to all. Thank you, everybody, for this year. And we'll see you all next year for hopefully more All 4 back. Take care, guys. All the best.